If there is one team that has a lot of flexibility in the 2025 NFL draft, it is the Green Bay Packers. It's not to say they don't have any needs. You can see it on the screen right now. Some DB help would be nice. An edge rusher would be nice. Nobody on this team had more than 8 sacks last season. They could use another wide receiver. I personally think a bigger bodied guy. And I also think they could use some help at off-ball linebacker, maybe some depth. But when you look at where they're picking, guys, they have 23, 54, 87, 124, 159, 198, 237, 250. So one in every single round, plus the additional pick in the 7th round. Something that could be used if they want to trade up, if they see somebody they really like, especially when you're looking at those middle rounds. Those wide receivers become very enticing if they continue to slide down the board. You want to jump up and get that bigger body guy. The Packers are in a spot to do it. Now, I do want to make sure everybody is on the same page here. This Green Bay Packers team, according to Pikkit, is not even the 2nd favorite to win their division. They're the 3rd favorite right now behind Minnesota and obviously Detroit. This team is not far off. This defense forced turnovers last year. This offense could score when Jordan Love was healthy, when the pass catchers around him, to be honest with you, not only were healthy, but produced. They have a good offensive line that just brought in Aaron Banks. This offensive line is solid, especially on the interior. Tackle could use a little bit of work, but nothing that this draft can't fix in the later rounds. I think this Packers team is still a playoff team, especially if they draft well. But like I said, according to Pikkit, they don't even have the 2nd best chance to win this division. It blows my mind. But without further ado, let's get into this mock draft. If you guys are new, my name is Max. I'm making one of these a 7-round mock draft for every single NFL team leading up to the NFL draft. There's a playlist with all the teams I've already done. And then every day, 5 p.m. Eastern, there will be a new mock draft for you to check out. So make sure you subscribe and join the family so you don't miss any. If you've seen a video before, make sure you leave a like on it as well. Lets me know you enjoy this type of content. Without further ado, let's get into it. I think this Green Bay Packers team, picking at 23, is probably going to have to prioritize edge rusher here. We're going to see who falls to us. We're going to go moderately quickly through this draft because we have a lot of picks, but we are going to stop about 15 or so. So we're at 14 right now. No real edge rushers outside of Abdul Carter have gone. That's really good for us. I'm going to stop again a couple picks. Mike Green goes. Shamar Stewart goes. Okay, so we're on the clock in 5 picks. Tampa Bay, even Seattle could use an edge. I don't think Seattle's going to take an edge. But if we get past Tampa Bay, I think we should be good. So Tampa Bay took Mykel Williams. Tampa Bay took Donovan Azirauku. Seahawks took Mykel Williams, but there are some really good players on the board right now. I think James Pierce Jr. is screaming at us, looking at the teams who want to trade up with us. Nobody within the first round wants to. It's just Tennessee, so we're not trading out of the first round. I think James Pierce Jr. coming in and being that pure 3rd down guy to get after the quarterback is probably the way we go about this. Luther Burden is a very interesting one too because he's a very, very talented wide receiver. But when you're looking for that bigger bodied X guy, because the Packers have plenty of Z's, they have their slot guy in Jaden Reed, I would rather help out the defensive side of the ball with an edge rusher than potentially get a guy like James Pierce, a receiver like Luther Burden, even a safety like Malachi Starks. I think James Pierce is the pick for us here. We will be on the clock again in 27 picks. We'll pause about now. So we're 12 picks away looking at who has gone. So ideally, right, we want to try to get maybe a corner, maybe a wide receiver, depending on who's available. So looking at who has gone off the board since our pick. Nobody really worth Jack Besh, but nobody really worth noting. Luther Burden falls to pick 38. Interesting. I think we're going to be in a good spot on the clock in 6 picks. So Maxwell Hairston goes. Azari Thomas goes. On the clock here now, Siobhan Ravel went right before us. Okay, but looking at who's available, ooh, that's tough. So there are some good players. Obviously, Quinshon Judkins is a name who probably sticks out. But I do think when you look at guys like Darian Porter, there are some corners that are available, and we want zone guys. The Packers aren't really a man-heavy team. This is the best zone corner on the board right now. You can see the coverage grade. He was very good last year. And this is a guy who's a true outside corner, right? If we potentially lose Jair Alexander in a trade, if we potentially lose him next year, we're going to want somebody to step in and play corner. And to me, that is probably Darian Porter. My only question is there anybody here that is too good to pass up? Because I do think Demetrius Knight is a talented player. And this is a guy who plays in the box. He's an off-ball linebacker. This talent to me is almost too good to pass up. And when we're looking at at least at the ADPs for this, we're going to be picking again at 87. There are going to be a couple other corners that are available. around 87 that we could potentially use instead. Like a guy like Denzel Burke to me sticks out. He'll be available even later, but as a pure zone guy, let's see, Dorian Strong, better in zone than man. Benjamin Morrison, a little bit better in zone than man. Jacob Parrish a little bit later potentially. We also should turn the stones at wide receiver. I mean, nobody really here. Trey Harris. Ooh, Trey Harris, an interesting one. I think what we do here is try to trade back up for Trey Harris because he will not go for another 20-ish picks. I think Demetrius Knight, the talent is too good to pass up here. So I think we go Demetrius Knight and we try trading up in a few picks to see if we can get Trey Harris. We'll pause it right about here. Okay, so the Browns are on the clock. Have the Browns taken a wideout yet? That's what I want to check because if they – okay, so they took Travis Hunter. So they're probably less inclined to take a wideout, maybe a little more inclined to trade down. Now, we would have to trade down 20 picks and make sure Trey Harris is not gone yet. No, he is not. Yeah, Trey Harris is not gone yet. I think we wait a little bit more. We'll wait 10 more picks maybe. Okay, here we go. Jalen Milroe, JT Tuimoloau, Alfred Collins. So Dallas also could use a receiver. New England could use a receiver. What have they done with their first picks? New England took Ashton Jeanty. That's crazy. Where did Dallas went Will Johnson? New England went Luther Burden, so they're probably not going to take a receiver here. Dallas went Donovan Jackson. I think there's a real chance Dallas takes one and Houston. So let's see what Dallas could do, or if we could potentially trade with Dallas. So if we gave them our 5th round pick along with 87 to move up 11 spots, they would probably accept it. But I almost want to see if we can swap. What happens if we swap that 9% chance? Okay, like I ideally would want to swap instead of getting something worse. We have multiple. So what if we did this? No, this, no, this, no, this, no. Okay, so they're probably only going to want that 5th round pick. What if we did that and we got a 7th next year? Okay, interesting. If 7th this year, a little bit less likely. What if we swapped here instead? 35% chance. All right, so we're going to try 159 and 87 for 247 and 76 to move up to get our true X big bodied for whatever speed 6'3" wide receiver. Let's see if they accept it. Oh, I did not propose it. I messed up. And Trey Harris went 1 pick before I stopped it. Sometimes you make mistakes. This is a human element to this, right? Sometimes people don't turn the card in. Sometimes you make the wrong selection on the site. We made a mistake. Now we got to live with it. 44% chance that trade was accepted anyway, so less likely than not. But Trey Harris goes, and now we all of a sudden need a corner. I'm going to let it run. Honestly, there are some pretty good players still available. A guy like Jalen Noel, 5'11", 200. Again, not like the bigger X wide receiver, but a potential Z that we could use. The only thing is we have so many of those. I don't know if we need them. And then looking at potential wide receivers, a guy like Savion Williams, 6'5", 225. He is a monster. He is an absolute monster. I am very fascinated. So Savion Williams here would be a great pick, but I also do wonder if we could trade back up. Because a guy like Dorian Strong is staring at me in the face. I think we honestly try to trade back up for Dorian Strong before we try to trade up for Savion Williams. So we'll take Savion Williams here. We got to pause this draft really, really quick to try to trade back up, though. Okay, so Dorian Strong does not go. The Saints don't really need corner, to be honest with you. Let's see if we can get back up here with New Orleans. And obviously that's not going to be accepted, but nothing's going to happen there. Okay. We'll see if we can trade back up here again. Devin Neal, RJ Harvey off the board. Philly, 96, 124, 159. We're almost moving up too far, I think. We'll let it go down a few more picks and see if we can. We'll pause it right here. Andrew Mukuba goes in the 4th round. That's crazy. Dorian Strong goes to San Fran. Okay, so now we need to look for another zone corner. Here at 124, we'll wait till our pick comes back on. Looking for a zone corner, and we just saw it again. Oh, I could have sworn that Denzel Burke went right before. It was a different Ohio State player. Will Howard went right before us. We're looking at the corners who were available. Noel Williams, a guy who's better in zone than man. Zy Alexander, the 80.0 zone coverage grade impresses me. I like that a lot. Is anybody trying to get up? The Rams are trying to get up. Could we potentially swap with the Rams to move up a little bit? Let's see, a 190 and 198 spot. That would be accepted. 250, 237. Let's try this. Let's try 237, 124 to move down 3 spots. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's see here. Potential swap. So 198 and 201. No, that's not going to work. About 195 instead. 195 and 127 for 124 and 250. Okay, it's accepted. So we're going to be on the clock in 3 more picks. And back looking at corners. Zy Alexander is the guy that we wanted. We will take Zy Alexander to play corner for us. This is a guy, again, much better in zone than man, who's played primarily outside corner, but played some snaps in the slot. This is a guy, 6'2", 194, a decent-sized guy. You saw it in the breakdown, fundamentally sound. This is a corner that will come in and immediately impact us. And now we move up a bunch. We essentially turn that 250 into a 195, which is great when we need some depth, right? Whether we need quarterback depth, whether we want to take another shot at DB, defensive interior depth. We're in a decent spot right now where we've taken care of our 3 big needs, or 4 big needs really, in receiver, edge, corner, and off-ball linebacker. Now it's just a matter of where do we want to build up our depth? What could we really benefit from? Is it the offensive line? Is it potentially taking a tackle that's done multiple things? Logan Brown is a guy who's only played right tackle. Emory Jones is a guy who's only played right tackle. John Williams only left. Like, is there a guy who's played multiple positions? What running backs are on the board? Khalil Mullings. Nobody really here for me that's sticking out, at least. Receivers who are on the board, Kyle Williams. Looking at the past couple picks. Let's go back and look at corners again. So Denzel Burke is still on the board. I almost think we take another chance on Denzel Burke. O'Donnell Fortune's another really good one where he's going to step in and play some really good zone corner for us. Let's go O'Donnell Fortune there. Get another zone corner. We need all the DB help we can get. We'll be on the clock at 195 and 198. Then to finish it up with 237. Tyler Shuck is still available. Do we potentially take an older quarterback to sit behind Jordan Love? Maybe. I do think we could use some offensive playmakers, though. Looking at receivers who are available, Dante Thornton Jr. is a big-bodied guy who is, I believe, 6'5", if I'm not mistaken, 6'5", 214, very prototypical, long, outside guy. But are there other offensive weapons that we could use? Are there guys who can play running back and receiver? Are there slot guys like Shamir Deek is somebody I look at who's 6'1", 195, who's very versatile, can do things really, really well with the ball in his hands. Honestly, school aside, reminds me of Ricky Pearsall. I don't know. This is tough. I think Keandre Lambert-Smith is a little bit lighter. I think Dante Thornton Jr. is the prototypical outside guy. I think they take multiple swings here. When you look at this Packers depth chart, they need help at the receiver position, especially the bigger guys. They have so much depth, but they don't have a star. They don't have a starter. Christian Watson's probably going to miss the majority of the year. This is tough. I honestly think right now we should prioritize defense, especially considering the way we went with these first couple picks. So I'm going to look at some interior defensive linemen. Cameron Jackson, 6'6", 342. This is an absolute monster of a human being. But on the clock at 195, looking at the best players who are available. Gosh, this is tough, man, because Dylan Fairchild's a guy who's played left and right guard. Oh, man, this is tough. I don't think we need to take a quarterback. I don't think we need to go that route right now. I don't think we need to go running back. I think Zeke Biggers is probably the defensive interior that we get. I mean, 6'6", 230, he's been, as you can see here, the huge guy in the middle, but could step outside his athletic enough to play in the B gap, right? I think this is probably the best option we have. Again, we'll be on the clock here in 3 picks. Caleb Bransaw, Keandre Lambert-Smith goes there. This is tough. Because Dante Thornton Jr. is the prototypical, like, big-bodied receiver, but do you really need that? Or would you rather get an offensive lineman that's done different things? Jake Majors is another guy. He's only played center, but another guy when you look at this Packers lineup, you're moving Elton Jenkins back at into center after having, I believe, an all-pro season or a Pro Bowl season at guard? Do you get some backup to try to help him? I kind of think that would be a way you go. But there are other players along here, like Miles Frazier has played left guard, and right tackle. Like, this guy can do so many different things, and he's good at pass blocking. Everything starts in the run game, but, like, these pass blocking offensive linemen are very, very hard to find. I think you take Jake Majors here. The real question is, do you trust Elgton Jenkins moving to center, or do you want to back that up? Would you rather back that up? Would you rather back up your left guard position, or right guard position, excuse me, with Sean Ryan? This is tough. I think you go Miles Frazier. I don't know. I think you go Miles Frazier. This is a guy who's played 3 different positions, can come in and be the 6th offensive lineman in so many different worlds. We're going to be on the clock at 2:37 to finish this draft up. Let's see who we have available to pick here. Nobody really crazy. I mean, Jimmy Horn Jr. could come in and be a great slot guy. Honestly, Smile Munden Jr. is one of my favorite late-round picks in terms of raw athleticism. Malachi Moore is another guy who can do a lot of different things. He's still, look at this, played in the box, played deep, D-line, slot, can literally do everything. Grading coverage, sub-package guy. Let's take Malachi Moore. We need most help at DB. We'll go Malachi Moore. Wait a second here to recap our draft. Can we finish in the top 25%? We wait to see. This is a top 43% of Green Bay Packers draft, overall draft B+. Again, these grades don't really mean too much, but first 2 picks, very good. Savion Williams there. Zy Alexander, O'Donnell Fortune to help us out in the secondary. Zeke Biggers, Miles Frazier, and Malachi Moore as our last pick. Again, a pretty solid draft. We tried to make a trade or two. We worked through to eventually get a wide receiver, trading up to get Savion Williams, our bigger-bodied receiver. We really tried to prioritize the bigger body instead of the overall talent. But I like this draft. I think the Packers will walk into next season better off because of it. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, we will have another mock draft, so make sure you're subscribed. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know in the comments. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.